Stirring the coffee with chopsticks using the vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee at the molecular level. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started, but first, mushroom coffee. Not bad. Not bad. I've tried most brands so far. And the conclusion that I've come to after drinking mushroom coffee for about a year is that I think I'm going to get a mushroom blend, like a 5 mushroom blend, just mushrooms. And then I will add a half a teaspoon of that blend to my coffee and then stir it in with the frother, which just really makes it kind of disappear so you don't get any grittiness or nothing settles to the bottom. It stays suspended in the coffee for the entire time because I do like the effects of mushrooms, the nootropic effects of the mushrooms. I really do. They are magical, not in that way, but in the nutritional way. If you think about it, at the end of our lives, all men end up looking like one of the old man Muppets, and all women end up looking like Jigsaw. So work out all you want now, eat all you can now of nutritious food, take as many cold showers as you want, do your Wim Hof breathing every day, meditate, pray, whatever you want to do. Everyone ends up looking like that. I have a very urgent message. Whoever has been in contact with me in any way over the past 14 days, you need to stay indoors and contact your nearest test center. I'm very sorry. I've been diagnosed with being extremely sexy, and there's no treatment or vaccine. Again, I apologize. Things that people used to say, but they don't say anymore. They died of old age. You don't hear people saying that other people die of old age. It's always of a disease or cancer or something. You never hear old age anymore. Another one, they died of a broken heart. I haven't heard that in a few decades. And that's when one spouse dies and not long after the other spouse dies. And people used to say that they died of a broken heart because they can't imagine life without their spouse that they've been married to for 50 plus years. Interesting phenomenon. Or heart sick. That's another word that you don't hear much of anymore. When someone goes through a breakup, my grandmother would say they're heart sick. You don't hear that much. Actually, there's a scripture that backs that up. I forget what it is. If any of you guys want to look it up, let me know. Put it in the comments. And it says, deferred hope, or hope deferred, makes the heart grow sick. Interesting, right? Circumcision. It's an industry. Some think it's religious. I know for a fact it's an industry. They don't throw the foreskins out when they cut the skin off of a baby's weenus. They literally send them to cosmetic companies and other companies. There are some skin creams that are made with babies' foreskins because they contain stem cells. Again, profiting from the pain of an infant. There's some sick things going on with the foreskins. If you just look up what happens to foreskins after circumcision, just look that up. You will actually get mad. You'll actually get mad at it. You'll get angry. Not a good thing. There is a place for fellow Christians here in my tribe, just not self-righteous ones. Definitely, this is not a gathering of perfect people. It's more like the bar scene in the original Star Wars. So give me a gnarly atheist any day over a condemning Christian. Got me? Any day. Married ladies. Question for the married ladies. What would you do if you hit the $250 million Powerball and no one knew about it? Let's just say you were getting gas and you thought, what the heck, let me get a Powerball ticket. And you did. And it was a winner for $250 million. What would you do? Put your answer down below. That would be interesting to see. Think about the upcoming revolution and the role that you will play in it, because you will play a role, whether it be an observer, you're in the audience, something. You will play a role in the upcoming revolution. And there will be a revolution. Some actually want to be slaves in this world. Some actually want to wear masks. But the problem is that forced mask wearing is forced compliance. You're forcing people to do it. If you want to wear a mask, go for it. If you don't, you shouldn't have to. It's become ridiculous now. A man in the UK was punched in the face after he briefly removed his mask to speak to his elderly mother on a train, while the assailant yelled at him to put the mask back on. Try that with me or any of my friends and see what happens. You'll be wearing an oxygen mask. Have you had enough yet? Come on, have you had enough? What's next? Lockdowns? Stay in your house? What's next? All inquiries as to how a person should conduct themselves in a relationship lead me to ask the number one question. What is your relationship or dating goal? Are you dating with a purpose? Are you dating with intention? I can't answer any other question about, well, what if she did this? And, well, she said this to me. She texted that, and then I texted. What is your purpose? What is your goal? That's number one. Don't tell me your story. Tell me your goal. And then think about this, because I'm making you think on your own now. Does her behavior contribute to your goal somehow, some way? Does a woman who is on purpose or on the same page with you for your dating, does a woman who has that goal, does she act like this? Does a woman who acts like A or B contribute to the goal of X? If the answer is no, then you know what you need to do. Don't be afraid of being alone. Someone needs to hear this right now. Don't be afraid of being alone. Practice being alone. This is why relationship fasting works wonderfully. Don't be afraid of being alone. I'll say it again. I can't wait for the day that I spend a day with my wife. We make dinner together, clink wine glasses, put a fire in the fireplace, make love, fall asleep together, and then I get up and go back to my house down the street. Now, I always laugh, chuckle a little bit after I say that, but that is a picture of giving people distance and not being smothering. In 2020, moving forward, nobody wants to be smothered. Everyone is so saturated with information, with news, with TV, with radio, with the web, social media. There are forces, external forces now that didn't exist 20 years ago, and they're stressing people out. When your relationship seems to be stressed out, could it be all of those other things that are just adding stress to it? You know, watching the news sounds like a passive activity, doesn't it? It sounds passive. But it's putting stuff in your head that's stressing you out. Even though you're not doing anything, it's stressing you out. A day of hard work stresses you out for a purpose. Watching the news stresses you out. It has no purpose, no meaning, no significance. Blood pressure rises. Heart beats faster. Cortisol increases. Aging accelerates when you watch the news. So if you're having a relationship problem, what if you eliminated some other stressors first and not eliminated the relationship? Something to think about. But go back to that whole thing of putting spaces in your togetherness. It seems like only women appreciate that. And I don't know why, because men can be pretty damn smothering, can't they? What is your relationship or dating goal? The smartest mechanism of survival in a society, as we know it, is a secret society. It's a method to continue to make money while maintaining distance from the insanity. Do you belong to a secret society or a private group of people? I might have to do that. I might have to start an inner circle of sanity, clarity, and reason. A private group, a Zoom group or something. It's the only way of maintaining optimum survival and functioning in a dysfunctional world. When she loves you, she wants you in her. Then she's in no hurry to jump in the shower or the bathtub and wash you off. She lets you know later on that you are seeping out of her, but she cherishes you inside of her. And even when you leave the bedroom and leave the house, you leave your presence, your energy with her. If she is way too quick to wash you out, that's almost metaphorical. She's washing you out. You want her to keep and harbor you and your energy inside of her. And I'm speaking of your wife. Her rejection of sex is a rejection of you and anything that you might deposit. If your wife does not want to have sex with you, if she's like, ooh, well, she won't be like that at first. She will be like, I'm tired, I have a headache, I'm not feeling it, I don't have the interest anymore. What she's really saying is, ooh, I don't want you or anything from you in me, or staying in me, or deposited in me. That's a hard one to get through. Your behavior can possibly change that. If it's gone on for too long, the marriage is over. I am pro-divorce for marriages that never should have happened in the first place. I might be the only one saying that. The only Christian man saying that. I am pro-divorce. Sometimes it's better to save yourself than save the marriage. You hear me? That's going to speak to someone who's just hell-bent on saving something that's dead. I know, but God can breathe life into it. You know what? Enough already with that. Save yourself. I would rather save a man than save a marriage. Every now and then a marriage does get saved, yes. But save the man. In 2016, I posted this meme that says, I hope after this election we can all still be friends, even if we're all in different FEMA camps. That was the 2016 feeling. Not a lot has changed, right? Can you imagine the new freedom you'd enjoy if you had a product or an ebook that sold 1,000 units at $49.99 per month? Most of you already have knowledge that you are proficient and expert in. I don't care if it's baking cookies, knitting scarves, or creative ways to care for a special needs child. $50,000 a month. Do you think that would change anything in your life? And then there's the guy who wrote the ebook, How to Teach Your Parrot to Talk and Set Up a Website. It sells for $79.95. It's been making several $100,000 a year for several years now. Go ahead, apply palm to forehead. The power of automation. And there's some people who have several products, think about this, that sell year after year after year after year after year. And you still go to work. Okay, that's cool. But when you find out that there's better ways to live, wouldn't you take advantage of that? I know a lot of people with great ideas, great products, great services. However, the weight around their neck, the thing that's stopping them, is sales and the fear of selling. Phone calls, knocking on doors, personally reaching out, introducing yourself with a handshake. Some people say that the biggest fear is public speaking. Some people say that the biggest fear is public speaking. Some say the fear of spiders. Nothing compared to the fear of selling and getting a person to agree, sign on the dotted line, and give you money. That's the biggest fear of all. When you learn how to sell, you learn how to live. You can reinvent yourself at any age. I know many who have done it. The ships that got you to where you are now need to be burnt. They're useless. They can't help you anymore. Then you will find a new way. You need to find out and hang out with others who did it. Search their stories. I know a person who is a former mob associate who is now a celebrated children's author in a dreamy little harbor town. It seems like a combination of having to do it with no options and just making up your mind. Those were their exact words. They're part of the no excuses club. What do you do when you can't get a job anymore? What do you do if you get out of jail? Think about it. Think about those that were incarcerated. It's not like you're going to come out and get a job, right? So what are you going to do? You become part of the no excuses club. You have to make it. And I think if you still have a little bit of comfort left in you and other options, you might not make it. There's got to be a little bit of hunger in there. Hunger is a great motivator, beautiful motivator. And I'll leave you with my favorite pipe tobacco review of all time. It says, an English blend heavy on the latakia and perique, the kind a bearded captain would smoke while navigating an oil tanker through the Strait of Hormuz. Creative. Painted a picture, a little movie in your mind of a bearded ship captain guiding the ship through a very treacherous strait. And with that, finish your coffee, and I'll see you tomorrow on the Daybreak Show, your home of sanity, clarity, and reason.